Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, and this is not our usual day for Andromeda, so no, you are not going crazy. Unfortunately, I had some computer problems last week, so we had to skip our usual time, so bit of a make-up stream today, and it is a weeknight, so we'll probably need to keep things a little bit on the shorter side, but nonetheless, still eager to get back into the action here. We do have some mission funds and some credits to cash in, so why don't we take a look at what we can do here. Not interested in those ultra rare characters, but we can get some expert packs going. And I think maybe not at our very, maybe not at the one time at the end of the previous stream when we were cashing in these packs, but I feel like the beginning of that stream, and then both at the beginning and the end of the stream before that, I think we had a bit of a hot streak, if I recall correctly, when it comes to getting not just a decent number of ultra-rare weapons, but some pretty good ones at that. Now, have I just jinxed it? Perhaps. I suppose we're about to find out. Only one way to know for sure. So far, maybe not the best. Oh, and then I say that, and we max out what is by some accounts the best weapon in the game. I believe this is our first ever ultra rare weapon variety that has reached rank 10, and it is kind of fitting, kind of poetic in a way that it is the Valkyrie Siphon. Not that it's one of my favorites, I say it every time, but that is now maxed out, and there is the other version of the Valkyrie that you could argue is the best in the game. That one is now also maxed out. Alright then. That is interesting. That I think that's the first two ultra-rare weapon varieties to be maxed out, and both of them are the Valkyrie. Here's the Naladin Siphon. Alright, just needed a little bit of a warm-up here, it seems like. Then we get basically 3 in a row. The Naladin Siphon, definitely not as nice of a pickup, but it is still an ultra rare. It was still something that we needed to check off at some point. Well, not that it's maxed out, unlike those Valkyries, but it is progress either way. Dawn Bulwark. Okay. Also one of those ones that probably falls under that same category of, well, not a huge fan of it, but at least it's progress. Let's take a quick peek. I would just like to confirm. We have any... I mean, this is not the easiest of things to skim, but I know we had several weapon varieties that were on rank 9. Don't think we had anything else on rank 10 though, and looking through stuff now, seeing a lot of things that are in that 8-ish range, and then this one's lagging way behind Piranha Siphon, but some 9s. Valkyrie Bulwark is also rank 9, so we might just max out all 3 Valkyrie varieties before anything else reaches rank 10, which would be kind of crazy. But, and then you see Paw is lagging behind pretty significantly, certainly at least on the Bulwark side. Thankfully, Concussive is further along Paw. still lagging a bit as well. Roserad also lagging behind, so although the Valkyrie is very good, it is of the very good guns, not one of my preferred choices, and the ones that probably would be to my preference, those are the ones that are lagging behind quite a bit more. But overall, it seems like we might be reaching the point where we could start to get a bunch of them maxed out in the near future, which would be nice. Let's take a look, though, at what the dailies are today. They reset 24 minutes ago, which probably means this is right around when everyone is finishing them. It may, however, mean that after finishing the Prestige dailies, the people are now looking at the Plat Apex? Yeah, which expires in 0 minutes, because that is yesterday's, and that should say something else. So that's weird. What about now? No? Okay, maybe we make ourselves a lobby, and then the game will realize, oh, hey, things have changed. All right, I'm going to hop into Discord. There is a chance, given how today is not our usual day, that we may just be hopping in with random people and not necessarily chatting with them in Discord. So a little different than we would usually have in that way. Have you updated? No. Okay. Well, I mean, technically leaving and re-entering a multiplayer probably would update it too. All right, fair enough. What if we go just search for a plat? That could be a different way to do it. Yeah, so this wouldn't usually be a Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer day. That is true, but we missed last week, as I think we were talking about over the weekend, Sovkin, right? So figured might as well look to have a makeup stream of sorts. Might keep it a little bit shorter today, depending on, well, it is a work night, so that's certainly one factor. But also, yeah, if we have a bunch of stuff going on, if we have a bunch of games going, and we get some people in here, we get a lobby, then that'd be great. But if we have a bunch of people, if we're having trouble finding people to team up with, then that could change. Why is this just refusing to update? That's weird. Alright, well, the Prestige dailies, which we still have to do, I was just guessing that this was right around the time when other people were probably finishing them, which meant usually that's the flow, is as soon as the clock strikes, well, it's 8 p.m. for me, people immediately flock toward the Prestige dailies. They usually take 2 matches, which means it takes about a little less than half an hour for people to do that, and then immediately afterward, they go straight into the Plat Apex. And so, given the time, this would be right around Plat Apex o'clock. But not managing to find anyone doing such a thing, nor am I able to see what the actual Plat Apex is. So, Prestige it is. It's Derelict at Silver. Let's set that up. And if you would like to hop in, Sovgrin, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, typically wait until the Silver Strike teams reset. Yeah, so at least for me, it's 8 p.m. are the Prestige resets, Prestige and Plat Apex resets, and then an hour later at 9 p.m. is Silver Apex refresh. So we're about half an hour away from that. But usually with Silver Apex, I just end up sending strike teams. It used to be that I could send them on Gold Apex missions as well, although nowadays my strike teams are, oh man, they are battered and bruised. So it's pretty rare that they can actually do the Gold Apexes with any sort of efficiency. Usually it's like, alright, it's just better to keep them on the sidelines at this point. Alright, let's throw on at least one booster here, and if we're going to do this with the kineticist, then probably would prefer Kets, because they are generally the most throwable. And I think I made this public, right? Yeah, okay. So we might get other people jumping in here. Okay, just double check. Those are the right things. So why don't we get going then? And Sovkrin or anyone else, if you'd like to hop in, as I was just saying, lobby is public. So you are able to hop in. It is Silver, Derelict, and Ket. Yeah, that's the thing. At the early stages, I was very careful about only using the teams when they had a high percentage chance. So I was very mindful of, okay, you know, if I let them fail a mission, if I take some risks, let them fail a mission, then that can quickly snowball in a bad way. Because, oh, hello. Because the way they get the negative traits is by failing a mission. So if you make it more likely for them to fail a mission, you make it more likely for them to get negative traits. Once they start getting negative traits, it's more likely for them to fail more missions, and it becomes a chain reaction. So I was mindful of this, very mindful of this in the early stages. But then, even with that caution, you know, eventually your teams do still fail, even some high percentage chance missions, and occasionally they get negative traits even from those rare occasions. And at first, that wasn't too much of a hindrance. Like, okay, one or two negative traits here or there, you can still make it work, especially if you have, you know, all 6 teams, then you know, maybe the negative trait didn't even affect what that team's specialty was in the first place, and then it's pretty much no effect. You were going to send a different team anyway. But eventually, it starts to add up, and every team has a decent number of those hindrances, those negative traits, and it has gotten to the... And I had sort of done some quick math for it, and it seemed like it was so expensive to replace the teams in terms of how much, how many mission funds it cost. It was so expensive to do that, and I assume you also need to pay again for the gear bonus that you give them, which does also add to the cost. So if you factor in all of that, then it actually costs a bunch of mission funds. And so I basically came to the conclusion that, you know, it just wasn't worth... It just wasn't worth making those changes until the teams were so negatively affected that it was going to cost me a lot. Oh, I technically don't need to be using exclusively biotics. It's not a biotics daily, although there is that temptation sometimes when you're using the kineticist. Oh, I did a set. Yeah, so basically came to the conclusion that it seemed like, you know, it's going to cost me several hundred mission funds to replace all of my teams, or at least replace a few of them. And, you know, if I have to skip one mission a week because I have negative traits for it, and I don't have a team with high chance to succeed, it's going to take a long time before that amounts to missing hundreds of mission funds. So, because of that, I went a long time without replacing my teams. In fact, I still have all of my original teams.
I got some great data from that.
But part of the downside is that the positive traits, you can only have a maximum of 6 of those per team. The negative traits, there's no limit. For a while, it looked as though the maximum number of negative traits was 6. And so teams started getting to that point. I thought, okay, you know, it's bad, but it's still at that point where it probably is still more expensive to replace them than it is to just skip a few missions every now and again. Then eventually, they did start getting more than 6, in fact, well over 6 negative traits. And now I'm skipping a lot of missions. And probably is getting to the point where it is worth making some replacements. But I haven't done that yet.
Artifact is secure.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, do you... Once you've unlocked everything, do you even need the strike teams? It's like they give you more mission funds. I mean, I guess you can use... You could use the mission funds to purchase consumables. Those consumables can include the things that I just did. Things like heal packs or revives. Which, at least for me, that's not something I'm ever spending mission funds on at this stage, because it's much more valuable to me to use those for ultra rare, guaranteed ultra rare weapons and characters once upon a time.
Artifact recovery is complete. Nice job.
But if that weren't a factor, then maybe I could use them for getting consumables, but it just feels like the rate at which you need consumables versus... I feel like you would have way more mission funds than you would ever need for that purpose. You can also get the XP boosters from mission funds, right? Which is another thing that I haven't done, because I've been saving them for ultra rare weapons, but I mean, if you're really trying to max out your Apex score, it technically does go up when you level up characters, so you could make a point of always resetting your character's level whenever they reach 20. Use the XP boosters aggressively and use your mission funds to fund those. I guess that would be the use case. That still kind of feels like... I mean, I guess it all depends on how aggressively you're doing that and how often you're doing that. Leveling up your characters and resetting them back down to level 1. And how important is maxing out your Apex rating. That's pretty much... That's the main reason for doing that, I would think, outside of the occasional character reset just because you don't like your build, but you can do that every once in a while. Presumably you're not doing that all the time. So it just doesn't feel like that would be something that would be a huge strain on your mission funds. So you just don't have nearly as many uses for them. Which means your strike teams seemingly wouldn't matter as much. Because that's what they're there for. Yeah, like 70,000 mission funds, you know? You have more than enough to purchase consumables. Even if you wanted a big bunch of them, still have more than enough for that. It's just not that important at this stage. That's because you are beyond where I am, where you've gotten all the unlocks. Not necessarily who I was aiming for, but okay. remember, the Ascendants respawn on silver. They don't on bronze.
How are my shields down?
Keep our eyes peeled for you. No, but I'm curious if the Ascendant comes back. I mean, either way, it's an efficient way to expend the mission fund, or not mission funds. That's what we were talking about, but wave budget. It's an efficient way to spend the wave budget. It does make things go faster. Not seeing it, though. Might just be hanging out in the corner somewhere.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
They don't until Wave 6 and Wave 7. Okay, that makes sense. Wave 6 is objective wave, so it'll continue respawning. At least until you're done with the objective, and then Wave 7, obviously,
Keep your guard up.
it's
Just like we practiced.
extraction wave, so everything respawns indefinitely. Although, to be fair, that doesn't happen on bronze. Bronze, in every instance, kill the boss, it never respawns.
Scattered around this area. Find and
Take
recover
down
that
the
data.
Ascendant.
Well, there is the Ascendant. We can test this theory. Greatly appreciate if the other enemies would just leave me alone for the time being, though.
Shields down.
There's the Fiend. Doing whatever it's doing. Excuse me, sir, please go away. Ow. Oh, right about to heal.
I thought I fixed that.
It is not a great situation. Not a great situation. As I, once again, press the heal button and it doesn't register, I love that. Just love that. Love when the game doesn't do what you tell it to do. I think that's the pinnacle of good game design. Can you tell that I had that same experience with a different game earlier today that I was recording? Well, you know, I was trying to... It's the third time. Trying to avoid that grenade. Picked a wonderful time to go off.
Watch the enemy fire. Shield.
Ah.
Thought I fixed that.
Hey, look at that! The heal actually registered that time. I can't even imagine that being the case, because it has not worked more often than it has worked. We're less than halfway through. Lovely. Oh, by the way, we were talking about, do the boss enemies come back? I've not seen either the Ascendant or the Fiend. Looks like they may not return. Would be consistent with what happens on bronze. Oh. Yeah, you know, this is why I don't particularly like doing solo missions. At least not as a non-infiltrator. Definitely get away with it on bronze.
Data's received.
But even just bumping up to silver, it can get a little painful at times. And such is the way of this game that you are... That was close. You are very subject to what objectives it gives you and where those objectives are. Hack is obviously not a good objective. It is one of the more difficult ones, along with upload. Upload probably even worse, from a solo standpoint at least. The location isn't too bad. It's not, certainly not the worst on this map, at the very least.
Keep your guard up.
Just like we practiced.
Yeah. Yeah, having frags is helpful for brute forcing it for sure. And the kineticist can be good for,
Shuttle incoming.
you know, setting off combo after combo to brute force a bit. But it does still drain your shields. So, if you are simultaneously getting hit, which we were for at least some of that, because the enemies kept on trying to flank us, then there is a limit how much you can do super combo stuff. What we did learn, though, is we confirmed that the Fiends and Ascendants do not respawn on Wave 5. And, well, there aren't any Fiends on Wave 5. The Ascendant didn't respawn. And there is both an Ascendant and a Fiend on Wave 6, but neither of them respawned. I've not yet killed either of them on Extraction here. Right up to you. We have not yet confirmed as to whether they behave differently this way. This is a very bad place to be stuck right now. In case there was any doubt about that, let me just confirm it for you. On the plus side, we have already eaten up most of the wave. Now the Fiend is down. So, the question remains, does the Fiend respawn? If it does, then the Ascendant would as well, because they're basically in the same category. They're treated the same way. Don't think I'm seeing it, though. Excuse me, you staggered me out so I could barely do that in time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, upload, the amount of time you have to spend in an individual spot is less, but you have to be in 3 spots, which for a solo, at least, is impossible. Or at least, it's impossible to be there at the same time. So, best case, I think hack, for that reason, is more subject to the location. Like, if the hack is in a good spot, then it's going to be better than an upload, because you can just power through it in that one spot and not have to worry too much. Whereas if it's in a bad spot, with the upload, okay, you don't need quite as much time in that bad spot. That helps. You might be able to more easily power through and just get that over with. And then you have, you know, the 2 easier spots remaining, and that feels much better. But if you do get a hack in a really bad spot, then, okay, you're taking longer in that spot. That's going to be pretty painful. So I think, for that reason, hack is more subject to where it's located. At least for a solo. So if you have multiple people, then obviously you can split who's in which location for the uploads, and that makes it much easier. Oh, I suppose we didn't even see if anyone else was running this. Didn't even try to join someone else's lobby for this. And there are people doing it? Okay, I mean, they are mid-match. And they're doing it with Outlaw. Gross. So unless this is wave 1, it means we technically would still need to do one more match even after this to finish up the dailies. Let's see where they are, though.
3 more to go.
Ah, yeah, they're wave 4. So this, in truth, doesn't accomplish much for us. We're going to be left with an awkward amount of remaining waves, like 3.
Target the Hydra.
Hello there, Berserker. Hello there, other enemies who I would prefer not to be standing next to. mean, as I was saying, when we were starting off, I kind of assumed... I mean, oftentimes you see, as soon as the dailies reset, that there's immediately a wave of people who start doing the prestige-based challenges. And so, if you are ready, right as that reset happens, then you can sort of ride that wave and get a group of people all at the same time trying to do the same thing, which is really nice and convenient. And that's usually where I run into the same sorts of people in many missions. Why I have some familiar names, familiar faces that I sometimes bring up. Like, oh yeah, I've played a bunch of matches with this person or that person. Because that's usually, you know, it tends to be the people who play a lot and take it a little more seriously, I suppose. The ones who are, you know, looking to start those missions as soon as they reset.
Let's take them out.
But then, since I was a little bit late to the party, I figured that I missed the metaphorical boat. But obviously, not everyone starts those missions the moment that they reset. As these people are still doing it. But I'm guessing that means this is probably the second match they've done for the prestiges, and they're probably about to change over to something else after this.
Scratch one target.
Ooh. I feel like I didn't see the animation that usually precedes the missiles. I just saw the missiles flying straight at. Like, before that, I saw the missiles already firing. I was like, what? Where'd that come from?
Good work.
It does. The delay is much shorter for Blaze Hydras relative to normal Hydras. But even then, the first thing I saw were the missiles. That was you.
Sensors clear for now. Great shooting.
Yeah, 10 minutes and then we'll get the silver reset. So I suppose we could, at the very least, get the silver waves done
Shuttle incoming. Get to the
if we
extraction zone.
do that. And then, I mean, this map, nothing against this map, so there's always a chance we could just randomly end up here, or just do a match here, because why not? Silver is a little more restrictive, since that usually wouldn't be my difficulty of choice. Kind of need to, feels like kind of need to have a specific reason to do it, otherwise if we're soloing, honestly I'd prefer to just do it on bronze for the reasons we were discussing before. And then we have at least one other person. Prefer to go on gold or potentially plat for XP and credits. Silver is kind of in that awkward in-between area, if you ask me. Uh-oh.
Lost you.
Where are you? There you go. Never mind, you were already primed.
Mission complete. Full team secure. Good work.
Only one more.
Only one more enemy, by the way. Everything dailies-wise is just based on number of waves today. So we know definitively we did not complete either of them with that match. Something like 3 waves, right? Yeah. We are not in the driver's seat here. So, I mean, technically, if they are about to do another one of these missions, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Otherwise, we might see them bump it up to an Apex mission of some variety. I would rather they not have it on Outlaw. Oops. Not that I'm about to leave the lobby just for that reason. It's not a huge deal on the lower difficulties. It's more so just that I'm trying to use the kineticist for bonus XP purposes. And it is definitely the worst matchup for her. Though again, I guess on... Oh, there you go. Yep. It is the Plat Apex. At least we see what it is now. It's Ket 0. Dwindling supplies. Talk about maps that are very subject to objective locations. This is numero uno on that list. Is everyone about to switch to an infiltrator of some variety? Because I'm definitely not about to stick with the kineticist. They go duelist. Okay. This map does have the hardest objective in the game. And that does make me nervous. Especially because if I am not an infiltrator, my ability to assist with said objective may be somewhat limited. As I can kind of only provide indirect support. So, give it a shot. I don't want to go infiltrator and then make this other person the one non-infiltrator, because then they're going to have all the aggro and their life will be miserable. So theoretically, 2 people will be shedding aggro, 2 people will be absorbing aggro, so it will be pretty hectic for us still. We can cross our fingers that the objectives... You know what? I'm just not going to finish that sentence. I'm not going to jinx it. They came very close to exploding that on us.
I'm gonna get ya.
Yes, I see you. Ow. They came very close to blowing me up. There's something behind me that is shooting me. Ow. I don't usually take elemental ammo on this character. Does mean that we can actually prime, which we, with our setup, actually would not be doing under more usual circumstances. So it is nice from that standpoint. However, I'm not really used to this. Usually I'd be packing a little more firepower directly with the weapon, either with headshots or with the specific ammo type damage boost. Okay, pizza is good.
Recovery requested. Locate and recover objects of interest.
Excuse me. Thank you to whoever helped to blow those guys up. Teammates doing a great job of distracting the enemies. I'm surprised that I basically went through there unscathed. There's another. Uh-oh. That's not where I want to stuck. Okay. That. Oh, it wasn't the Wraith. I was going to say, if that was the Wraith, then that looks pretty laggy, because the damage applied well after the projectile hit. It was the Ascendant. It's actually less of a red flag. See that? Did you hit me? Uh-oh.
Here to help.
Grenade bounced off me. Lovely. There's an enemy behind me. I think this is still a legitimate stealth grid. Is it? No, at this point I think it's bugged. I'm not actually invisible at the moment. I think they got that? Yeah. That's a real stealth grid.
Last drop received. All artifacts secured. Squad member down.
Oh. I did not see.
Mine shield's down.
Okay, yeah, it is all siphon. Okay. That is probably aimed at me. That's another thing when you have a lobby full of multiple infiltrators. If you hear an attack, or you suspect that there's a big attack incoming, but you don't see it, chances are pretty high that that attack is directed at you. Unlikely that it's directed at the person who can shed the aggro. Silver Strike Team Paradox is hand-to-hand. Could certainly do it after this. I mean, obviously we're mid-match now. Excuse me. That was not primed. Also, what was hitting me from over here? Where did that Ascendant just teleport? Oh, there you go. That dash happened a while after I asked for the dash to happen. Oh, I did not see you. I think there is also still an enemy behind me. No, definitely said someone was hitting me from behind. Oh, also, isn't the modifier that the ammo packs don't replenish over time? Is that what it was? So technically, I do need to be a little mindful of how aggressively I use the barricades, which I had not until just now considered. I mean, I don't use them that much, so I think we'll still be okay.
Recovery requested. Locate and recover objects.
Not this spot. Well, that's two. That is true. Yeah, and that also means we should be fine in that regard. Oh, that's not a good sign.
Artifact recovered. Teammate injured.
Yeah, the artifact may be recovered. Our teammate, however, not so much. Ooh, and I nearly joined them. Where did that even come from? What?
Artifact recovered.
You hit me through the wall with that? I mean, the sphere attack can go through walls, but you would have to have initiated the attack from an entirely different room. I think that would have been a death by cloak in that case, is my guess as to why that happened.
In their apex. Artifact recovered.
They wouldn't normally charge up the attack if I were in a totally separate room. The only reason they would charge up attack, wow. Not that I flew, but that there was the tiniest of windows and angles for them to hit me, and yet they still managed to do so. They would have to have, ow,
My shield failed?
ow. This is where we are now dying because our teammates are cloaking repeatedly, which, given how they're running the objective, is, I suppose, not that much of a surprise. But basically, the Ascendant only charges up the attack if it can see someone. And it won't do that if you...
Squad member down.
Okay, that one was on me. That one was on me. I don't think it was originally aimed at me on either of those occasions, but I dodged into it. But it only initiates those attacks if it can see someone, and it will only see you if you're in the same room as it. We were not in the same room as it, which means it must have initiated an attack because it saw someone. So it got into the animation, and then if you cloak mid-animation, it does not stop the animation. What on earth? Well, that might have been what just happened there, because it's all the way in the far room inside that it just tried to sync kill me from. Both of the Ascendants are over there, and this one just teleported closer, so it was over there as well. So it just tried to sync kill me from almost the entire length of the map away. So again, I think what happened is it started to do that. It entered the animation, and then someone with cloak went invisible. Cloak or stealth grid. When they do that, it doesn't stop the animation. Instead, it randomly chooses another target who is not invisible to go after.
Enemies clear. Stay alert.
Even if that other target would have, under normal circumstances, either not been visible or have been out of range. Which is why
Hostiles on route.
earlier in the wave, it shot the orb attack at me from a different room. And it's also, I suspect, why it tried to sync kill me from the entire length of the map away.
How are my shields down?
So technically, there is a reason why I think those both happen. As for whether you think that is a good reason, that
Squad
is
member down.
I've got you.
that is a matter of personal preference.
My shield failed?
Now,
Teammate injured.
Get to cover.
also kind of just assuming that our infiltrator teammates are going to get most of the revives, slash on the times when I have tried to get revives, they've beaten me to the punch anyway.
No shields out. Get to cover.
I'm reading a flat line.
That was another instance of heard the barrage, didn't see it, had to assume it was coming from me, even though I don't actually think it was on that occasion, but it's definitely coming from this Blaze Hydra. Also, we don't really want to kill that right now. Blaze Hydra is actually usually the enemy that will give you the death by cloak. But similarly, or well, any Hydra really. It does this, where you can see out of the back of the screen, it was starting to aim, goes the laser sights, and then if you have a cloak, oftentimes people will cloak to try to avoid getting hit by that attack. But it doesn't prevent the attack from happening, it just means that the Hydra is instead going to shoot one of your teammates. And it will it will switch the target mid-animation, which means your teammate has little to no time to react to this and is probably not in cover And so you have functionally just about guaranteed that your teammate is going to die. So when I say death by cloak, that is my shorthand for that situation. Maybe some people don't realize that that is what happens when you do that, but more often than not, that is the outcome. What's up, Itachi? At the moment, we're just in a random public lobby.
Thank you.
That lobby
Just
is
3
full,
hostiles remaining.
but I mean, we don't really have any reason why we have to play with these specific people. And I think Sovkrin was interested in doing the Silver Apex after this, and Sovkrin is not currently in this group, so might branch off after this match and do Silver Apex in a new lobby, in which case, yes, we would have room.
All clear for now.
Just like the old days.
Uh-oh. Okay. No! Okay, that spot, C. That's the worst spot in the entire game. That is the worst objective. So, hack in that spot is the worst possible thing, because as we were talking about a little bit earlier, hack means you have to spend longer in that area. So at least it's an upload, which means it's a little bit quicker if you can get it. It's already extremely difficult. So even an upload is still really tough.
Squad member down.
But if they can at least just get a window of time in which to power through it, maybe that's all they're gonna need. Whereas for a hack, you just can't power through it on this map, not in that spot. That is asking too much. Okay, now the good thing is, we have the behemoth. Because, I'd love if you, would step out. But that behemoth is a nightmare for the person there on part C. Okay, actually, I need to be... Okay, so we have 2 infiltrators. 2 non-infiltrators. Presumably one of those infiltrators is trying to get C right now, the super tricky spot. I don't know what the other infiltrator is doing. The other infiltrator is here. This is the part where you need to, if you want to succeed with this specific objective, you need to get a little sweaty, as the kids say sometimes. You do need to take it kind of seriously. Because this objective can just be an automatic loss if you don't do that.
Squad member down.
Normally, I would be pretty,
How are my shields down?
I wouldn't be that critical of other people's playstyles and what have you. Do your own thing, kind of thing. But on this occasion, if you aren't playing optimally, then that's probably the end. Okay, now, I said that because technically the optimal thing to do here is to have our infiltrators in there, and then, not die. Have the non-infiltrator people who are not in that area on the same side of the map. So that we're kiting as many people as possible into not that place. So I went over here for that reason, and then our other teammate went to the other side of the map. And defeated the whole purpose of my having done this, which is a little bit frustrating. But fortunately, we were able to get it.
No shields?
I didn't see exactly how much time we had left, but we did get it. But that's a good example of, okay, you know, we lasted just long enough in that spot to get the objective done because uploads are faster than hacks. If it were a hack, we would have needed longer in that spot, and with suboptimal strategery, I don't know if we would have been able to pull that off. Excuse me, sir, you weren't supposed to have that. Ooh. Hello there.
Almost
Then, oh my gosh, the Berserkers simultaneously make the Berserkers and the Behemoth all do their Proven Santa ho 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 at the same time. It's a little alarming. I thought there were only 2. I did not realize there were 3. Not realize you were there as well.
Nice job, Apex. Keep it going.
Okay, so got off a little bit easy on the first 2 objectives. Then the third one made up for it by giving us upload in that spot.
Here. Get yourself to the LZ.
And now we're on extraction. Let's maybe not go straight into that. And we were talking earlier about Hydra's, well, at the time it was really Ascendants and Fiends, how they do not respawn on bronze or on silver when you kill them. That is not the case on plat. They do respawn. So killing them does not get rid of them. They'll respawn elsewhere, which may or may not be helpful. Might buy you a little bit of time, but it's not like you make them go away by killing them. At least on, certainly not on Objective Wave, because everything respawns on Objective Wave indefinitely.
Get cover.
I was really hoping you were not going to be able to hit me from that angle. Also was really hoping that my energy drain was going to be able to hit from that angle. Here is Hydra again. And here are all of the bosses. They're kind of closing in on the LZ, which I'm not a big fan of. So let's kite them back in this direction, shall we?
I'm reading a flat line.
Wait for it. And dodge.
My shield's
This
failing.
isn't a bad place to be stuck, though. In case that wasn't blatantly obvious.
Here to help.
Yeah, we can go LZ. Little bit earlier than I would like to. Now it's fine. Oh, no, come on. Get this down.
Mission complete.
There we go.
Team secured.
All right.
Good work.
Mission accomplished. Might not have been textbook, but we avoided disaster. And disaster is definitely possible when you get this map on plat and that objective. So we take those. When we can make our way through that, we take those. Okay. So were people interested in doing some Silver Apex stuff? As I said, these are just random. Well, I mean, now it's barely anyone, I suppose. Now it is no one. Okay. Let me make this private for a second. So I am in Discord if anyone else would like to hop in. And we now do have a lobby by ourselves, so we can do anything. Itachi, you're in. Okay. And I maybe Sovkrin, you may have already done this one, but if not, we could do Silver Apex now. It is hand-to-hand, as you were saying. And I do still need some Silver Waves. I mean, I also need Derelict, but that's potentially easier to do. Might just get that randomly along the way. So in that case, Itachi, let me know when you are ready, and I'll make the lobby public. And you can search for the Silver Apex, and then Sovkrin, if you're still interested and available in doing this, then you can, of course, hop in as well, so could anyone else for that matter. And, I mean... Yes, we are looking for XP on both the kineticist... Or, for HP, for mostly getting through the kineticist, and for the health and shield regeneration delay reduction, which we're mostly getting through the sentinel, but it's a little bit harder to do kineticist XP farming, since she is definitely a lot harder to do on plat. Okay, so yeah, it is Silver Apex, and it is public now. There is a chance that there are other people doing this right now, because it did reset pretty recently. So there's a chance that everyone is now trying to finish it up. In which case, just for the sake of getting people in the lobby, we could change it to something else. Yeah, for the health bonus, exactly. I mean, she's a fun character for sure. Don't get me wrong. But the reason why we play her a lot is primarily for the bonus stat. So we need that. We need health and shield regeneration delay reduction. We need a tiny bit more for the health regeneration cap, but that one you can do with the base human infiltrator, which is very doable on plat, and we have so little experience that we need on that one that I'm not really making a concerted effort. Pretty sure it's just gonna happen without needing that much of a focus. There is Itachi. Vanguard does health as well. I've never really done that much with the Vanguard, to be honest with you. Yes, obviously I played it enough to level it up to 20. Every once in a while, I'll go back to it. Maybe it's just that I didn't love the way that I chose to set him up. But for whatever reason. I mean, the kineticist is hard to beat on bronze, silver, and at least with Ket, on gold. It's just, there's a pretty precipitous drop-off once you reach plat. So getting a health character who is good on plat is a little tricky. If anything, it's probably the Havoc Trooper who I've used most, or at least had the most success with. Not the biggest fan of her either, but she has turbocharge, so that's always going to at least make her decent. Yeah, I like the bronze characters a lot. I mean, that's first character that I really put a lot of time and effort into was the base human infiltrator. Then we got the Huntress, and yes, Huntress is a crazy powerful, so that's why Huntress kind of took her place. But still go back to the base infiltrator fairly often. Base Sentinel is my go-to for health and shield regeneration delay reduction, so I'm a fan of that as well. Love the base human soldier. Those are probably the three that I play the most often. Engineer, not the biggest fan of that one, and we already have recharge speed. The health regen cap, as I said, also don't really need to focus that much on that, because go-to for that would be the infiltrator, and the base adept is really good, but there is also the kineticist. So there's that. And then the Vanguard, as I said, I just never really felt like that was... maybe it's just that I strongly prefer the Mass Effect 3 version, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer version of the Vanguard. But alright, I guess I'm good to go here. So it is Silver Apex, it is public if anyone else would like to hop in here. Otherwise, Itachi and I, we might double kineticist it up. Also, Itachi, for the sake of your finger, I would recommend swapping from the halberd to the ghost. Too much Saiyan power. Personally, I do not like that weapon much at all. It deals very little damage, and you have to spam the shoot button, which legitimately does hurt my hand after sometimes just one match. So, I mean, if you're up for that, by all means, but I think the Ghost is also just a better weapon in general. In addition to being much easier and more pleasant to use, you have it higher rank as well. Like, yeah, like what is the use case for the halberd? Doesn't even deal that much damage. Like, if you haven't unlocked other weapons, even then, honestly, I still might pass on it. And the Ghost, for many people, is something that you're gonna unlock automatically, right? Because it was a DLC or something like that that gives it out. Or one of the packs that you start off with in some cases. So almost always would just default to the Ghost in that case. Unless you have a macro. Okay, well, yeah. Ooh, I dropped a strawberry.
This one's simple. Clear the area and lock it down. Hostiles en route.
Bought a new controller that has one built in. I didn't even know that was a thing. It would help if I hit the targets. There we go. Good teamwork. Meanwhile, that guy just floats over the tree. Oh, you stole my ascension boat. Now I must throw you over that tree. Weird feeling controller. I actually did get a new controller recently as well. Fairly recently. It was just because my previous controller was basically broken. Some of the buttons stopped working, I think. And I was trying to get a controller that was functionally the same, just more or less a default Xbox 360 controller, but I guess it was made by a different company this time, and I could feel as soon as I plugged it in and started using it, this just seems like a much lower quality version of the same thing. Feels like it was on the verge of breaking the moment I plugged it in. You know, that's not really the way I want a new controller to feel. So, I feel your pain when it comes to new controllers that may or may not serve their intended purpose. Or at least may not be as optimal as we would like them to be. Who did that? You did that. Oh wow, they all ended up okay.
Watch yourself.
Oh, I thought it caught you instead of me.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
Thankfully, still have Xbox One controller, just go to the buttons in the back. Xbox One controllers must work. Must be as simple as just plugging them in to a PC and they work immediately, right? Because it's also Microsoft based, Windows based, I don't know. But like the Xbox 360 controllers. Because yeah, I've always, when getting controllers for PC, I've always done Xbox 360 controllers, but I suppose Xbox One controllers would work as well, and I've just never even looked into that. One moment, please. How different are... I've never used an Xbox One controller, at least I don't think I've ever used an Xbox One controller, because I've never actually owned an Xbox. Are they, pretty much the same? Xbox One and Xbox 360 controllers? Oh, it's right next to me. It's probably been right next to me for a while now, and I completely ignored it. Okay, what is the... Yeah, I won't stop to stare down at my controller to see if I can find a brand name on it. I mean, the new controller has not failed, even if it felt like it was going to fail the moment I plugged it in. So maybe I'm a little quick to badmouth it. But I do tend to go through Xbox 360 controllers kind of quickly. So this is not the first time I've replaced one. And as I said, this one seemed to be a somewhat, at least felt like, it was a noticeable decrease in quality. I just kind of assumed that they were all going to be roughly the same. I didn't really give it that much thought. Maybe it's just that I use the controllers more often than other people do. Use their controller. Like, it's not as if I'm pretty sure I just purchased it on Amazon. And in every case where I've replaced an Xbox 360 controller. And, it's not like I'm picking ones that have 1-star reviews or anything like that. I think they have still had... They've been, the primary ones that have popped up, which is why I say I haven't really been giving much thought to specifically which controllers I'm buying. It's just, oh, an Xbox 360 controller is an Xbox 360 controller, right? If this is the one that everyone's getting, surely this is fine. Isn't it? Or so I thought. Then this more recent one, it just feels like cheaper, like flimsier material. Like, yeah, it's still plastic mostly plastic for basically any Xbox 360 controller you buy. It just feels like, something's gonna snap out of place with this one. The likes of which you might usually only think when you've had a controller already for a long time. And so, although other people said, oh, this controller's fine, it works well, and they rate it highly on Amazon, it may be that other people are either not using their controller as much as I do, so they don't care as much about the durability, or they don't notice the difference in durability as much. Could be that the way I use it is more taxing on the hardware, because, the primary thing I'm using the Xbox 360 controller for is this. Mass Effect Andromeda, and I am clicking on the thumbsticks a lot. Is, I think, the big thing. It is probably a little bit out of the ordinary relative to other people and other games. Because in Mass Effect Andromeda, you almost need to click on the thumbstick every time you dash or change direction, because it's... Ready? I'm not going to do it. Okay, we are still sprinting here, but sometimes... Okay, there. I didn't click it. I'm not sprinting anymore. So that's what it's the sprint button. But as you can probably imagine, you dash a lot in this game, because it is technically the fastest form of movement in many cases. And if you have to re-sprint every time you dash, And that means you're pressing on that re-sprint button, the mouse button, very frequently. So yeah, I think that's usually what gives out for me is the analog stick on specifically the side where I move and press the sprint button, which is a very important button. But it gets a lot of wear and tear. So that's why, long story short, that's why I think, although other people might still rate this controller highly and not take any issue with it, my use case may be a little bit different than theirs. So for me, I wear it out more quickly, and that's more of a factor. Durability is more of a factor. So even if they would rank it, 4 or 5 stars, for me, doesn't feel like that. Again, that being said, this is all speculative. This is all Lid's rant about a controller that may or may not actually be bad. It just feels like it is. Now I'm trying to see if I can find the... I thought it said the brand on it somewhere. Obviously, it has Xbox logo on it, but it's... I don't know. I don't know, man. That's just like a theory. A game theory. A gamer theory, even. On my way, Tachi. Well, that's not great, having the Ascendant there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ooh, that was close. Swing and a miss twice in a row. Oh, dear. One moment. The doctor will be with you in just a minute. Uh-oh. Oh, we got another person. I saw Grinch. Grinch is someone I've played a bunch of games with in the past. This other I don't know if I've ever seen that other person, though. In my culture, it is very disrespectful to dodge people when they're trying to shoot you. For this reason, I'm very offended. Oh, that was interesting. Round the corner, Wraith just flies straight into my face. Well, that was the silver apex. Now checked off. And that silver waves done as well. I do still need derelict, and I imagine Itachi, you probably have not done either enough silver or derelict waves. Finish those dailies. Could just do at least one more of these. Oh, I did not realize this was a commando party. Commando kineticists. Apparently. Alright, no worries then. This will help check some of those things off.
We need to secure this position. Enemies on the move. Be ready.
You like biotics? I'll show you biotic.
Thought she's setting a pick on me. Hitting me in the corner there, Itachi.
Watch enemy fire.
I started this match not usually in a place where I would start. Beginning of the round. Just throwing off my rhythm here. It's all wrong. And obviously at some point I would probably end up over here, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same, okay? It just doesn't feel right. Oh, just a little bit off.
3 more to go. Sensors clear for now. Great shooting.
This is where I would like to be starting,
Enemies incoming.
and this is where I would like them to be spawning. Not get all of that there. Okay, see, now I at least know where I've been. A better sense for where the enemies might spawn. Where I have recently cleared, and where I have not. Just feels better that way.
Watch yourself.
So many biotics going on in this lobby that
3 more to go.
might not always need to prime stuff. Might be able to act on the assumption that other people have already done that.
Enemies clear. Stay alert. Intelligence needs data from your location. Look for an entry point.
Get back here. Oh, hello. Thought I heard someone sneak around that way, but I guess not. Excuse me? Thought I attacked one of these guys.
Good.
Oh.
Stay sharp.
I got some great data from that.
Enemies incoming.
This is the spot. Like. works. How many biotic combos do you think there are going to be in total by the time this match is over?
3 left. Go get him.
I'd venture to say quite a lot. Now, don't do this,
Reload. We're
but
tracking reinforcements.
technically speaking, it would be possible to keep track of how many there were because it does show up in the kill feed every time someone does a biotic combo. I'm just saying, theoretically speaking, one could quantify that number exactly. But don't do it. I am not about to do that. And I do not want you to do that either, because I respect your time. And you should not feel the need to do such research.
Teammate injured.
You should not feel the need to devote such time to such frivolous tasks, such as answering Lids' silly questions. At least on this occasion. Other silly questions, perhaps. But this one, nay.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
What just happened to that guy? Oh, the concussive explosion killed him. I was like, I know I primed him. I didn't kill him with anything that detonated, though, and from over there, that angle, I doubted that anyone else would have been able to detonate him. It was actually the concussive explosion.
Sources say key data is scattered around this area. Find and recover that
Interessante.
data.
Oh. How's it going?
Well done. We cut the data.
Really? He's definitely. I thought there was one right next to me. Please don't go in the smoke cloud. Just
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
don't go where I cannot follow.
All enemies clear. Keep it up.
I got some great stuff.
Okay, see now,
Done here. Get
everyone's
yourself
crashing my party in my preferred spot, and I don't appreciate this. Okay, you can be next. Oh, okay. A little more than I expected to be there. seconds. Probably don't want to be on in the place in the map that is the single farthest location from the LZ. There we go.
Gets it done. Come on home.
Where did that come from? Are you setting off biotic explosions from inside the shuttle? Did you read the safety manual? You know that's not allowed. Okay, so Itachi, that should be silver done for you, I think, but we might still need that specific map. In which case, might look to bump it up a bit here, if you're up for it. At least to gold. As I said, obviously we've done plenty of matches together. Grinch I've done a lot of matches with. I do not know this person, so I don't know what difficulties they are comfortable with. They do have a paw. They're still leveling up the commando. Okay. Silver's done? Yeah, okay, perfect. So you probably need just one more match on this map, and then you'll be done with all that stuff. Technically speaking, silver is kind of the preferred booster. That's what you usually need to one-shot shields with shield stripping pull on anointed enemies. When it works properly, which it doesn't always do.
This one's simple. Clear the area and lock it down. Hostiles en route.
No, it's my spot. Stop stealing my spot. Come on. No! I reached the ascent. Okay, yes. I've reached the threshold. Nope. There you go. What? You dodged it. How dare you? The nerve. That individual.
3 left. Go get them.
That's why it's unnerving.
We're tracking reinforcements.
Logical outcome.
Enemies incoming.
See, now they don't spawn down here. Now they spawn here when I miss the jump. Well done, Lids. Oh, I almost missed it twice in a row. Ooh, okay. Maybe we stay away from that spot for a little bit. maybe we've had enough of that spot for a little while. Also,
Squad
ow.
member down. Three left. Go get them.
Get him, Itachi. Yes.
Stay sharp. Find artifacts and return to the drop point. Marking first location on your HUD. Artifact is secure.
Oh, hey, listen. You don't mind just not moving for a little bit, and ideally not charging up that attack either.
Artifact is secure.
Zooming at me doesn't look like that. You are.
How are my shields down?
Nearly through. Artifact is secure.
I don't know why I chose to use pull of all things on that enemy that was on Sliver of Health and was already primed. Well, as I was saying before, usually
All objects accounted
the
for.
rhythm is prime, then detonate. On this character,
Reading a flat line.
very consistent in that way, except we have a fair bit of priming with this team. Gotcha, Itachi.
Three left. Go get them.
I missed.
All enemies clear. Keep it up. Enemies headed your way.
Go. Hey, want to go bother someone else? Because I can't detonate any combos with you. There. Excuse me? There we are. And you tried to slap me? How disrespectful. That is not who I was aiming for. I did not know you were there. You were the person who I was aiming for once upon a time.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
He lived?
Sensors clear for now.
Wait, they can actually land on that for a little bit? I did not realize that. Pretty sure they would eventually die.
Hostiles on
They
route.
can't just get up and start fighting you from there. But I would have thought they would immediately go down on landing in that area. No, they're down below. Yeah, right here. Thank you, explosive container. Here we go. That guy really looked like he was just jumping out into the abyss.
Go get him.
It's like, where are you going?
Keep your guard up. Key enemy personnel were tracked at that location. Take them out. Teammate injured. Target eliminated.
1 second, Tachi.
Squad member down.
Please stop shooting me.
Scratch one target.
I hear the fiend. I don't see the fiend. So with Santa, obviously he's now spawned in, and there's the fiend. Didn't want him sneaking up behind me. Oh, everything except the behemoth. There we go.
Well done.
I mean, that, say that as if that's unusual. No, the behemoth has like 3 times the health of any other enemy, or at least it feels that way.
Good. Stay sharp.
A logic.
Stop stealing my spot.
We're done here. Get yourself to the LZ.
Don't appreciate it. Oh, okay. Oh, so close. That's so close.
Squad member down.
One sec, come right here. That didn't quite work out.
Tag the fiend. Lost shield.
Ooh. Going in. Ow! Oh, you're already dead. That's unfortunate, because I kind of wanted to kill you with the shields. $30 Heads up. Oh, that's where you went.
That's how Apex gets it done. Come on home.
Okay, so that should give you the other daily for the map, Itachi. see what the gold apex is. Oh. It's combo-tastic. Horrible map, horrible enemy. It's gold. I mean, you can't get combo-tastic on plat. Okay. All done with derelict. Perfect. In theory, combo-tastic is ideal for the kineticists. Although ideally, it would be with Ket, because again, that's generally the best enemy to do the combo, at least the biotic combos on. Some different enemies. Well, yeah, what we had Ket for the previous one, so now, alright, there you go, it's Outlaw this time. This is a situation where you can certainly justify putting on an ammo type, because otherwise the kineticist does struggle a bit to do much of anything combo-wise against these guys, unless it's just the oddies. Or, I guess, the pariahs once you get rid of the shields, but they're also just a pain in the butt. Running straight up to you with their backlashes. Yeah, I might just do that. Yep. I swear it's the most popular combination. Usually on the plat apex. This time it's the gold apex, so it's a little bit better from that standpoint. And it is combo-tastic, which is one of the best of the modifiers. So at least there's that. If not, this might have been one that I would just say, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks.
This one's simple. Clear the area and lock it down. Enemies headed your way.
All right. I mean, I think there is a huge difference between this combination on flat and this combination on gold. So hopefully it's a little more bearable. Oh, and there are the basic raiders, I suppose. I mean, that's another thing, is you see way more of the lower tier enemies on gold than you do on flat, so there's at least a few. What was that raider doing? Excuse me? You see more raiders, like that one that was hiding in the corner, and they are comboable much more easily than, say, combo those saboteurs, because that is much more ammo dependent.
Keep it up. Enemies headed your way.
They all spawned down here? Yeah, they did. It's not very well aimed. Oh dear. That was horribly executed on so many levels. Thank you, Grinch. to get rid of that backlash, you also just never stand still. And that's not an exaggeration. You do not ever stand still. Also, they can see you when you're cloaked. Fun fact, the only enemy who completely ignores cloak. Completely.
Go get him.
I'm not talking like oddies or wraiths that
Enemies clear.
have seemingly a little more ability to do so than other enemies, or enemies that might see you when you're in the process of cloaking and attack where you initiated the cloak. No, I'm talking pariahs straight up
Detected mission critical data.
can see you no matter what, whenever, when you are cloaked. Also, this objective I think is the second worst in the game, which is another reason why I hate this map. So Itachi, that is very brave of you. I will try to help. But you are in a nightmare location. Oh, I did not see. Also, that was interesting. It's maybe the word I'll use. Might be a little generous.
Teammate injured.
Uh-oh. Okay, looks like Grinch is gonna get you. I'm gonna try to take a spot here. We can power through this. Finish it off. That would be great.
Almost done.
This one should be close.
Upload complete.
Okay.
Good job, Apex.
So yeah, big difference. If that were on plat, that would have been pretty painful in that middle spot in particular. On gold, it's not pleasant, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, still much more manageable.
Enemies incoming.
Let's go. Yeah, well, priming. Oh, hello. Never mind.
Reading a flat line.
Oh, I misjudged. I thought you were all the way down there. Ow. Oh, no. There are more people down here as well, somewhere.
I'm reading a flat line.
Oh, that's pretty far. Hold on. I need to also not die. Not doing the best job of. There we go. There's an interesting little animation there.
Just 3 hostiles remaining. All enemies clear. Keep it up. Enemies headed your way.
Target the high ground.
Oh, I think there's a lot over here. Or at least, certainly one of you. Okay, so they do respawn on gold.
Squad member down.
Second, we get rid of these guys.
Thanks for the assist.
Or at least, I'm pretty darn sure they respawn on gold. Maybe I just always assumed that they did. But maybe after having realized that they don't respawn on silver, I'm now questioning everything.
3 more to go.
I didn't see another Hydra. Wasn't like it was one of the last enemies in the wave. We took it out fairly early. So I wouldn't have expected the wave budget to have already expended enough for the respawns to stop.
We're picking up classified data on the
Fortunately,
Upload it before they
we
lock us
avoided the worst spot again. Or well, this time we avoided it. We did not avoid it last time. Trying to clear out B a little bit, namely by getting rid of this Hydra before I go there. That is my intention. Okay, so now let's see if that Hydra respawns. I mean, this is an objective wave, so this might behave a little bit differently. They absolutely, without a doubt, those bosses respawn on platinum. I had always thought that they respawned on gold. Who's in here with me?
Fragment uploading.
That is a teammate. You are the enemy. I was under the impression that they only stopped respawning on bronze, and then everything after that, they would always respawn until the wave budget was over, or the objective was done. But apparently, that is not the case on silver. Maybe that's not the case on gold. Maybe it's a plat-only thing. I really did not think was the case. I mean, it's easiest to test these things when you do solos, because then you have complete control over which enemies you're killing and when, so you can deliberately say, okay, I'm gonna kill the boss enemies first, and then I'm gonna wait around to see if it respawns.
Watch yourself.
So you can do a much more controlled experiment, whereas it's harder to know definitively just how far you are through the wave when you have other people getting kills, and, you know, did the boss enemy respawn? You just didn't see it because someone else got rid of it before you went to the other side of the map? Maybe. Chance that happened this time. So this map is... The Hydras make themselves known very quickly on this map. Excuse me? Rude. Just punch me in the face. Straight up punch me in the face. So this would be another wave when I would have assumed that the Hydras respawn, but I'm gonna make more of a point of noticing whether that happens. And the other thing is that some waves have two bosses. Wave 7 on gold. For most bosses, like, you get 2 Ascendants for Ket, you get 2 Hydras for Outlaw. That makes it a little harder to know, did the Hydra just respawn after I killed it, or is this just a completely separate second Hydra? Because that may be the case. All those things make it a little harder to test in this situation. Which is why, despite having played a lot of Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, I do not have as definitive an answer as I thought I had on this front. Given the choice, I usually would not solo silver, let alone gold. So I really have not tested them out specifically. Bronze I have. So that one I knew for sure. And I think I was surprised at first when I realized that the boss enemies just never respawn on bronze. But I just sort of brushed that off. Also, 10 seconds. I just kind of brushed that off, thinking that, okay, I mean, I guess that's a way they decided to make bronze easier. Fair enough. It is the lowest difficulty. That makes some sense.
All targets down, everyone standing. Drinks
But I
are
just
on me.
assumed that was bronze only. But now, as we continue to peel back the onion, we see, no, maybe that actually is the case for most waves. Or rather, most difficulties. It's just throwing me off a bit. I did not expect that. And yeah, I couldn't really tell on that occasion if we saw the Hydras respawning or if it was just the second one. And since there are two of them on the final wave, it takes a little while to get rid of both of them, so it's harder to take them down quickly enough to have time for them to potentially respawn, track them down, and confirm whether they do actually come back. But okay, so that was the gold apex, which means we've done silver, we've done gold. I did plat earlier, though, Itachi, if you would like to... Oh. If you would like to do it, we can. I mean, this is the one that has the nightmare objective. It did pop up last time we tried. Oh, we lost Grinch. Okay, that is a bit unfortunate, as I do not know if this person has ever done platinum. Yeah, no, they ran away. Okay, maybe Plat Apex was not the move, by the looks of things. Seems as though people were not thrilled by that choice, but if there is anyone else in chat who would like to jump in, just let us know. We do have room. Yeah, right? Would have been nice for experience and for the cash, but seems like everyone else ran away. We should be done with Bailey's apexes, except for the plat. So let me see. I have a team on the bronze apex as we speak, which probably means that will be good to go, but if you want to do bronze apex, we could. And that one, of course, is the most doable for apex teams, or strike teams, rather. So, least reliant on actually doing that in a multiplayer game, but if you want to, we can. Maybe I'll mix this one up a little bit. We'll keep with the health as the bonus. Not that it makes a huge difference on a bronze match, but go with the Havoc Trooper this time. Okay. So yeah, if anyone else does want to jump in, we're just doing the bronze apex, because I don't know. Why not, I guess? It is a public lobby, so you should be able to search and track us down that way if you'd like. So now the question becomes, do we play this
one's simple.
character the high-flying way,
Hostiles en route.
or the more straightforward, grounded way? It's bronze. We probably don't need to do the high-flying way. At the same time, we could probably get away with it more easily without having to worry about questionable execution. Oops. I was trying to fly on that occasion. That's a tool at our disposal, as well as that. I mean, on bronze, especially with the paw, you can kind of just power through. Not even much of a power through implies that it's a grueling task, which is maybe not even fair
3 more to go.
description.
Reload. We're tracking reinforcements.
I do feel like this is one of the better maps, though,
Enemies
for
headed
the
your
flying technique. But this area is so open. Oh, I don't actually think is one of the better weapons for it, though. I'd already dodged, so I couldn't change direction. Zapala does have a finite amount of range. Usually, it's still enough that under normal circumstances, it's practically a non-factor, if not completely a non-factor. But add in being a fair bit above all the enemies, it means you're testing your range just a little bit more. To the point where it does start to become more of a factor. I see. I hear you.
3 more to go. All enemies clear. Keep it up.
Okay. Devices it is.
The enemy's tapping into civilian comm traffic. We need to take out their uplink devices. One problem gone. Enemy tech shut down.
Those breachers may seem like small little enemies,
Almost done.
not that dangerous. You might think you can just ignore them. That is not the situation. That is the situation in which they are most dangerous. Specifically, devices,
All enemy devices shut
objectives.
down. Good job.
Because they will get up to you, and even if they don't grab you altogether, their basic attack has a very high stagger rate,
3 more to go.
and they can do it quite quickly. So they can stagger you enough to completely prevent you from finishing the mission. So it looks like you could probably just brute force your way through. You shouldn't. Whenever there's a breacher right next to you, before you do one of those, you almost always are best served taking an extra couple of seconds to just get rid of it. I have occasionally failed a mission, or at least I remember one time, in fact it was on Nimbus. I remember the specific location where it happened. There was a device that I was doing, and I tried to just brute force it. But there was a breacher. It kept staggering me. I think it took me a while to get to the location in the first place, so I didn't have a ton of time remaining. So I was rushing, and that was maybe one of the reasons why I thought to myself, well, okay, I'm gonna
More to go.
just get this done as quickly as possible. I'm not gonna risk taking a little more time to kill this breacher. Except that was exactly the thing that prevented me from finishing the objective in time. staggered me at least a couple of times when I was trying to finish the objective, and then
Sensors clear
couldn't
for
finish
now.
it in time, failed the mission, and lesson learned.
Enemies headed your way.
Okay. So, again, bronze, they absolutely do not respawn. So that destroyer is gone. Gone for good, at least for this wave. A little hard to hit creatures with the quick little flat cannon. That would have been a good flat cannon situation. though.
Go get them.
Oh, don't mind this breacher as it just flies, or rather observer, as it flies through that entire structure.
Sensors clear for now. Great shooting.
Okay.
Sources say
I was just thinking to
is
myself,
scattered
there
around
is
this area.
one
Why
kind
don't
of
you
bad
recover
hack
that
in this
data?
map, and it is this spot, but it is bronze. I think we should be fine. Oh, there's another. Oh, yeah, there are two destroyers. Did not respawn. There are legitimately two. And it's weird, because this is the, well, I would say this is the only type of enemy where you get two, boss enemies on wave 6. Except that's not really true. Because the difference is that for other enemy types, there's more than one type of boss. So, like, Ket, Wave 6 is one Fiend, one Ascendant, neither of which respawn.
Data's received.
But you don't have that two different variety of bosses for Remnant. So it just gives you two destroyers.
More to go.
In fact, the two Hydras for Outlaw and Wave 6, there might be. Definitely is during extraction. There are going to be two destroyers in this wave as well. I don't remember how many Hydras there are. Wave
We're
6
done here. Get yourself to
bronze
the LZ.
Outlaw. Because they kind of don't have a second type of boss enemy either. Is it really only Ket? I'm talking completely separate, like not Hydra versus Blaze Hydra, Destroyer versus Progenitor, not that kind of thing. Oh, there's our two Destroyers. One down. Love if you would face me. There we go. Okay. Both destroyers down. Should not be coming back. Nope, that did not go on the angle I was hoping for. Okay. That was very disorienting. Was it just me, or did my screen kind of go black for a split second, which made it very unclear what direction my character was going in? Damn. Oh, 15 seconds. And this map is kind of big, so I want to make sure I'm heading back to the LZ. I was snoozing a bit.
Mission complete. Full team secure. Good work.
Alright, so that's the bronze apex. And, I mean, we do have room if anyone else is interested in getting in. We've done most of the apexes. I mean, I have done all of them at this stage, but I did the plat apex before we got Itachi in here. So if we were to get more people, could potentially look to do plat apex again so Itachi can check it off. If not, then, I don't know, we could do anything. We're all set with the prestige dailies. I mean, if you guys have anything in mind request-wise, I suppose we can always field some of those. Tachi, how are you liking the kineticist so far? Pretty neat. I feel like you will like her. I mean, she is possibly the character who is most reliant on maxing out her skill points. So I think, you know, the more you level her up, because yeah, you don't have her maxed out just yet. I think you'll start to see a pretty significant difference. But she's a lot of fun, and she's very powerful, especially on the weaker difficulties. Gonna take a break? All right, no worries, Itachi. Thanks for stopping by. We managed to check off a lot of things there. Lots of apexes, prestige dailies, as we were saying. And that means, at the moment, it was just me, so maybe I'll just see what kind of lobbies we can find if anyone else is hanging around, and we'll maybe start with flat and work our way down. There is... Oh, there we go. All right. Obviously, we were doing some stuff with Grinch earlier. And Techno I've also played with. Not quite as much as Grinch. Grinch is like one of the people I've played with the most. Okay. Let's see. Do I really want to take this character in here? I mean, I don't know how far they are into this match, so I don't want to dilly-dally too much as I would like to nitpick, be particular about how we do this, at the same time, I want to make sure we get in before this is done. Lilac, how's it going? Characters that you like best as characters. Don't know anything about Mass Effect though, so you're free to ignore this. Now go back to lurking. No worries. Thanks for stopping by, Lilac. I did jump into this one as quickly as possible because I wasn't sure if these guys were about to finish this mission. And the answer is that they are most of the way, but not all of the way through. But I can give that some more thought for the next one. But yeah, good to see ya. When you say, how did you phrase it? Best as characters, do you mean from like a gameplay standpoint? Or do you mean there isn't that much individual personality or lore behind, I mean, maybe lore behind the characters from the standpoint of there are different species of playable characters, so there's a little bit to go off of from that standpoint. It's gonna hurt. from a personality character standpoint, but only if that's applicable. The thing is, the characters in multiplayer are not directly existing in the campaign. There might be some that are similar to characters that you see in the campaign, but the extent to which they have individual characters and personalities and what have you are basically like a couple of sentences written about each character that look like they were written by the 5th grade children of the developers, because they're very basic, very surface level, and not particularly interesting. But they do technically exist somewhere, at least. I'm not sure. On the app, Apex app, you can see that stuff. I don't even remember if you can find that directly in game, but there's that. Each character does have unique voice lines, and those do provide a little bit of individuality. Don't really want to kill you. Okay, now I do want to kill you. I take it back. There isn't a lot to go off of, is what I'm getting at. It is possible, but there isn't a lot. Gameplay-wise, I would say is definitely much easier to do. Whoa! Okay. Well, that was interesting. Oh, and then I stood too close to it as it exploded. Wonderful.
Enemies triangulating our nearest outpost. Find their sensor arrays and get them broken. Enemy tech shut down.
That one done. Where'd this one go? LZ, I think? Looks like... Oh, ow. Are they both infiltrators? They are both infiltrators, aren't they? Right? Grinch is a Huntress.
Enemy tech shut down.
And Techno... Are they an Angara Avenger? I think they are. So technically that means we have, at times, 100% of the aggro? Yeah. Again, given more time to put more thought and care into my character selection, probably would have gone with something different had I realized that.
Good job.
That's, yeah, we're already done with the objective for Wave 6, so we made it work, one way or another. Double stun. Ooh, that was close. Oh, well, there you go. There's the finishing touch. Yeah, because having every single enemy attacking us and exclusively us on Platinum is generally not a good time. Well, we have our own way we could escape, I suppose. We could fly away, or we could do this.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
No, it wasn't fast enough. That's also basically the end point, so... And I shouldn't do that on Platinum, because we would not really be able to help our teammates at all. And we shouldn't abandon them on the highest difficulty. That would be mean. Oh, that wasn't the last enemy. That was the last enemy. Okay. Yeah, the ammo boxes do not replenish. That was the modifier for this one. And again, we took a grenade character, and maybe
Get to the extraction site.
we weren't in such a rush. Another reason why it might not have been the best choice to go with this one. I'm surprised I did not stun. Hello there.
Out of the sky! Shields are compromised.
Let me get rid of Siphon on. Are those Hydra missiles aimed at us right now? Those are. Ooh, that was close. Whoops. Oh, goodness. We may be able to fly a little bit. Not quite like that. Just me, or did that dodge go twice as far as it should have? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Never doubted you.
Maybe I should have just taken the invisibility and run, rather than trying to brute force. Yeah, this is a bad place right now. Let's not hang out here. Let's also ideally not fight all of the enemies to the LZ. 30 seconds. I guess we can't dilly-dally that much longer. I smell... Oh, a Hydra. Never mind. It's also an Ascendant. Yes, all of the... every single enemy was attacking us. Or nearly every single enemy. Oh, no! That was not part of the plan. Okay. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so as I said, I kind of rushed into that match with just whatever character we happened to have already had active because I was not sure whether they were about to finish the match or not. So, definitely wouldn't have been my preferred character. And if we're going based on gameplay, then it probably does need to be the Huntress. Especially if we are on plat. And now it means that we are not the only non-infiltrator, which is also very nice. I don't know if these guys are still sticking around now that they are done with the plat apex. Offos probably shouldn't do this. Fringe57 is a good username. I have... The multiplayer player base for Mass Effect Andromeda is pretty small. So I have played a fair number of matches with both these people. Actually, quite a few matches with Grinch, except we may have jinxed it because Grinch has left. So that is a tad unfortunate. Techno I have played with as well. Not quite as much, though. Does, however, mean... No! Techno left us as well. Alright, let's see if we can find anyone else. Betrayal. I mean, we did the big mission that they wanted to do, so it's kind of understandable. It was the big daily. Nothing on plat. What about gold? And on that, I mean, it's not crazy late, but it is getting a bit late. You know, just give me any difficulty. Okay, back to Silver Apex, and this is obviously Unicorn, who we've done plenty of matches with as well, and occasionally hops on stream with us, although I'm not sure if he realizes that we are streaming right now, because this is not usually our streaming day. I would have said Huntress for Platinum. However, this mission gives us bonus damage for melee. So, for my favorite melee character, either go with this, or you know what? It's been a while since I've done you. Let's do this. And again, they've already started the mission, so I have no idea how far into it they are. We have already done this mission before, the Silver Apex, but that's okay. How far are they? Oh, they're just starting. Okay, nice. Oh, they beat me to it. There we go. Come on, get into punching range. Time for some punches. Oh, I missed. That guy's dead. Oh. He's dead now. There we go. Charged past them, seemingly. Also, I'm not actually sure if that took them out or not. Oh no, they're up there-ish. Or at least they were. Oh, no, back here. Hanging out in my preferred spot. Secret strat. Get it from the other side of that cover. It's not so secret, to be honest. Unicorn might have gotten there first. Yeah, he did. Over here? Oh, more to punch. Oh my goodness! He got launched.
One more.
Oh, nope, you're already down. Charge is on the cooldown. That's okay. We have palm shields. he tried to punch me. Not gonna happen, buddy. Not gonna happen, buddy. Man. Oh, still on cooldown. Darn, that would have been fun to charge there. Every once in a while, punch sends them flying. Okay, now this is playing with fire, but you know we're gonna punch the Ascendant. We have to punch the Ascendant. Is it going to be... Oh, yep, this is exactly what's gonna happen. Oh, thankfully one of our teammates absolutely bailed us out. Didn't catch which one it was, but it's almost like they saw that I was trying to punch the enemy that was otherwise going to one-shot me. Can't imagine how they could have possibly predicted that. Almost like it was very obvious that's how that was going to play out. Target obstructed. Nonsense. Nonsense. Oh man! Crunchy cryo explosion. Make a detour. Want to try punching one of you again? There we go. That's more like it. I ain't afraid of no Ascendant. Or any targets that try to slap us in the face. This one... Yeah, it changes what type of enemies the targets are when it's an Apex mission, and oddly enough, on this occasion, it actually meant it was easier with the Ket. We did not get a Krogan Santa, thankfully. Otherwise, I was gonna say, that's, you know, another type of enemy that's maybe not the best to try to punch. Oh. This is where everyone is. And this is where everyone will be punched, including me. Lids, actually you were shot in the back? I mean, true. Perhaps. Look, the details aren't important, okay?
Oh, you won.
What is it? here. I've got punch this dude until he explodes. Because that's the only way to do it. No, you're over here somewhere. Invisible enemy. There you are. Oh, that was a little bit confusing. Also, the game teleported me back into that attack. And after pretty sure I dodged it. Game thought otherwise. Like, did you really want to avoid that very powerful attack? Yes, game, I did. In fact, that is the reason why I moved out of the way of it. Uh-oh. One moment. There we go. I was gonna punch that guy. Okay, time to go. Howie, everything's fine, don't worry about it. Okay. So, I do think that guy's, although in a vacuum, definitely not my favorite character. When we have bonus melee damage, he's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to punch people and make them explode biotically, so I think it made sense, at least under those circumstances. Actually gonna check if Unicorn is in Discord, because he might be. He is not. Okay. As I said, this is not our usual day, so he may not have expected that to be the case. Okay, and it is, given how this is not our usual day, that is because it is a weeknight, so we have already been going for a little while, and more importantly, it's getting a little bit late, so I probably will want to make this be our last one. It is the Gold Apex, which we have done before. It is unfortunately Nimbus and Outlaw, the worst combination of map and enemy, but it is combo-tastic, which is very good. The other person just left, so that now it is only Unicorn and me. This actually would be a decent character for the combo-tastic, although he's pretty squishy. I think we would die a fair bit. I mean, we died a few times even on silver. So bump that up to gold on a worse map against a worse enemy, and yeah, probably not gonna be any better. Otherwise, I mean, Kineticist would be good. Whoa, that's a name I haven't seen in a very long time. But someone that I also used to do a bunch of matches with. That's good to see him again. Okay. So, Kineticist would be the best combo character in almost any circumstance, except there's so many armored enemies. It's not a great matchup against Outlaw. We prefer you know, maybe we go this route. And I do not know who that fourth person is. That's okay, though. Oh. Well, I'm glad I double-checked. These are not the weapons that I thought we had. We don't need Ammo powers for priming. We can get by with just our skills. Let's go. Universal power amp. What is this guy's bonus stat again? Is it shields? No, health regen cap. Okay, technically that is a little bit helpful. Okay. All right. Put this on.
Hostile territory, people. Secure this position and stay sharp.
I think we're gonna go the explodey armor route in all likelihood. So we can do this too. Because this character is pretty busted. Thought I saw someone else over here. Did we send them flying? We might have. Wasn't even sure if I was on the ledge. I think I was at first. Oh my goodness, what is happening? That guy down? Oh. Now you are.
Get him. One left.
Want the shockwave.
Enemies cleared.
I don't
Stay
think
alert.
it hit.
That was great. Hostiles en route. Clear the area.
Oh nope, they all spawned over here. Right, let's take you out. Not so fast, saboteur, buddy. Oh, you're down. One moment. I remembered you were still over there. Send you flying while we're at it. I think a lot of this might have to do with the combo-tastic, but it is... I'm seeing a lot of enemies get launched, and that is a pleasure to see. Especially when we're talking about Outlaw getting launched, because they deserve to be sent into an alternate reality in which they do not exist.
Enemies cleared. Stay alert.
Or I guess, sent to an alternate reality so that we don't need to experience them. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. The upload. Is it here? It is.
We detected mission critical data. Find the location and upload the intel.
Me no likey. Power of Snap Freeze. And the Avenger. Perhaps anything is possible. There we go. Okay, I would love if you would leave though.
Teammate injured. Hang on. Fragment uploaded.
Not our fragment, unfortunately. Who's in here? Is it you? Probably. That was interesting. Okay, I'm definitely still hearing Hydras, despite us having killed one previously. Sharpshooter or Hydra? I think that was a sharpshooter. So again, the question remains, do those boss enemies actually respawn on gold?
That's a wrap.
Because I had thought they did. But today we realize that may not actually be the case.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
Ooh, I did not realize I already had that on.
Enemies down. Keep your guard up. Enemies incoming. Clear the area.
Out here, really like spawning up here. We're blocking many of the usual spawns. Again, this is also why Outlaw on this map is such a bad combo, because the Hydras can hit you from just about anywhere. Ha! Not just the distance, but the speed that with which they get sent flying. That guy alive? Not anymore. I don't remember what happens if you detonate the armor on the pariahs. Does that get backflashed at you? Or is that one of the few things that actually avoids it? 'Cause if that does hit you, I would kind of like to see what that looks like. Oh, hello there. Angel for my nightmare.
More to go. Reload. We're tracking reinforcements.
This armor rocks!
Enemies headed your way.
Yeah, see, we're blocking spawns here, we're blocking spawns there, so they can spawn at the LZ, or they can spawn here. Not so fast, punchy boy. What I think of you. Oh, I did not know you were there. First we shock you, then we freeze you, then we shoot you. Supposed to bring friends.
3 hostiles remaining. All clear for now. That's great.
Also need to remember, this weapon does have ammo. We do need to pick that up every once in a while. I'm using a lot of heat-based weapons today. This is not one of them.
We're picking up classified data on the Scourge. Upload it.
At least it's not in the horrible spot. It's there, which has a Hydra, and there must be one down here. Yeah, we'll take B. Nice and quiet. Well, That's because all of our teammates are getting all the enemies. Excuse me. Meanwhile, the Audis are like, excuse me, Lids. We beg to differ. Oops, that is not the skill I meant to use on the second top. That was.
Data transfer complete. Almost done. Upload complete. Take well done, team.
Oh, there was still someone there. There you are. Okay. But that does work, even with the shield up on the pariah. Okay, that's good to know. I was kind of intrigued by what would happen if it did backfire on us. I think it would look pretty hilarious in that case, so I almost wanted that to be what happened. But okay.
Shuttle incoming. Get to the extraction zone.
Yeah, block that spawn in the back room, so just about guaranteed they're gonna all spawn over here. Which, you know, on Extraction Wave in particular, probably not something we want. With all spawn right in the extraction area. Maybe that's just me though. That might be two Hydras shooting at us simultaneously. Generally not what I would prefer to see. Excuse me, sir. Please get down from there. Thank you. Uh-oh. Yep, saw those coming. That works a lot more. Stop running away! Stop running away! Ow. Seconds. Uh-oh. That's not good timing. And that's not a good place either. Oh no! We can't get you from here.
Took a hit, but we hit back harder.
Ambrose is a little late to the show. Yeah, we are, as we're seeing here, quite close to getting the bonus stat leveled up, and this would be the max level for health regeneration cap, which is why that is not one that I think is going to require that much of a committed effort. However, I do think, given the hour, that we probably do need to wrap things up here, because I do need to get up relatively early tomorrow. And we did all the Apexes, in many cases several times over. And of course all the Prestige dailies as well, so I think we still managed to squeeze in a decent bit of stuff. It turned out to be just about our typical length, maybe slightly shorter. Oh, I did not realize we were technically the host there. Give the signal. Then let's head out. And we did get a half-decent number of credits, so we can still cash in a few more packs here. And we got our first 2 weapons of the ultra-rare variety fully maxed out at the beginning of the stream today. We have several more that are 1 rank away from that being the case, and I'm curious if the next one happens to be the 3rd and final variety of the Valkyrie, which would be, what, Valkyrie the Concussive, I think? It's one that we still have left. But there is, I think there's 1 or 2 more weapons that are also 1 level away. Crusader Siphon is not bad. That's rank 8. That's getting up there. Can we nab 1 or 2 more? Again, some ultra rare consumables, but that's not as intriguing, he says as he gets more ultra rare consumables. This will be our last of the expert packs, at least, so likely our last chance to get an ultra rare weapon. Nothing there, but I mean, given how many we got and how good the quality was on those, can't complain. Very nice. And I mean, we were waiting an extremely long time to max out our first variety of ultra rare weapons. So to get 2 of them today is a pretty big deal. On pretty good weapons at that. We probably should have used one of those Valkyries at some point today to commemorate the occasion, but, well, maybe I'll remember to do that next time. We probably should have. It would have made sense. But, we're getting closer. We're getting close. I mean, there's still a ton. There are still a lot more levels to be had. But what at one point in time seemed unbelievably far away, so much so that we couldn't even conceptualize getting some weapons maxed out, here we go. It's starting to happen. And hopefully, it may not be every day that we're maxing out a new weapon, but as more start to get closer, you just check them off 1 at a time, and at that point it becomes easier to get the, if there's just 1 or 2 ultra rare weapons remaining at the end that are lagging way behind, like say, I don't know, some of the paws, then at that point, it becomes mathematically much more likely that you happen to get upgrades for the small number of remaining weapons that still need more upgrades. So, significant progress. That's a good sign.